first this wasn't working. Now it seems to be working. Awesome. It is November 15th. Woo! And I feel like making a journaling video. I haven't done that in a bit. I haven't journaled in a bit. So I think the last thing I did was on the 8th, and I wrote a bunch of intentions for things I would like to call in. So yeah, it's the 15th. November. Hope we're having a lovely day so far. Still in like my morning garb. If I want to write just like general journaling or gratitude, I could do both. The other day, so the theme for last month for me was abundance, and I went for a walk out back with trail, and I was just noting all of the abundance of nature, and it was really fun to do. So things like there's an abundance of grass, there's an abundance of leaves, there's an abundance of air and sky, clouds, bugs, trees, plants, flowers, and that was fun to do. So I think that's always really nice. So it always feels good to think about all of the things, all of the good things that are in one's life as well. So I might want to do that too. My hair looks wild, man. Look at this. Sick. I don't even understand what's happening. It's like one big wave or something. Do you ever have dreams where you... I love these dreams. I have these random dreams where I'll either be with people that in the dream I know, but I don't actually know, or I'll meet new people that are like kind of friends, or I'll meet these people that they're just so loving. It's like the epitome of love. And I'd like just average people. And then in my dream, I become aware of like the possibility of how loving of how loving a person can be, and it's so cool. I love that. I love meeting new people in general, but especially in dreams. Dreams are so amazing. I was thinking the other day how it's basically like a free movie. A free movie that you can not only watch but be a part of. And it's weird, the dreams where you're like it's like you're simultaneously watching yourself and experiencing what's happening. And also a question is, so in my dreams I experience pain. Like if I don't know, someone's stabbing me or something in my dream, I will feel it. It's not great. And one of my friends said that they don't feel pain. Like they don't feel any sensation in their dream. And I thought that was so interesting because I feel all the sensations. So like I have had dreams about one of my cats, or actually a couple of them, biting me, for instance, like biting my hand. And it hurts so bad. So I don't know if that is a norm for a lot of people. Apparently it's not, at least for my friend. And I dream in color, which apparently some people don't. And this is not dreams, but what just came to mind too is how there's a word for it. Like if I say picture a carrot, and how like mentally you can picture a carrot, some people can't do that. So that's interesting. Yeah, there's a word for it, and I forget what it is. I've been wanting to kind of do. If you've ever listened to Abraham Hicks, she does these rampages, basically of goodness, of all the good things, and I love it, and it's really exciting. And then I was thinking, I've done that for myself, just walking, like if I've gone for a walk and just like recounting all the awesome things or like the things I'm grateful for. But I've been thinking about maybe doing a video like that. In fact, I can even start right now. Why not? Whatever. I see money that someone gave me in my room, so I'm thankful for friends and family that gift money. It's my birthday. I'm grateful. I'm just like look around at all my things too. Well, I'm grateful for like awesome pictures. I'm grateful for clothes that resonate. I feel like clothes are, I mean, not only do they keep us warm and what have you, but they're an expression of ourselves kind of, and our personality. We can kind of express who we feel we are with our clothing. I think that's super cool. So it's really neat when and if you can find clothing that you feel resonates with you. For me, my favorite brand of all time, and I don't normally buy from them because it's just like really pricey, and I don't buy a lot of new clothes. Free People. It's like I feel like they made their clothes just for me, and obviously I know they didn't, but that is how much I like them. Just that style, I feel like encompasses me very well. And like TJ Maxx too, or Plato's Closet. I dig that, and I found awesome Free People stuff at Plato's. So that clothes, plants, how there's so many different species of plants and trees and bugs and animals. It's awesome. I watched the third Fantastic Beasts movie the other night. I never saw the second one, but I was just so enamored with all the different creatures in it. I thought it was so cool. People's imaginations is another thing. It's amazing what we can think about, and even just going back to dreams, the things that our minds can create is so interesting. And I also like to think about if dreams are just another plane of reality. And so it's interesting because it's like I can see both sides where dreams are just a manifestation of our minds, and then the idea that we're actually visiting other realities in our dreams or experiencing other realities. And then I wondered, what if we're experiencing parallel realities to our current life? There's just so many facets to it, and maybe it's all the same thing happening, or all of that happening at the same time. I am grateful for jewelry. I think it's really pretty, and kind of like clothes, it's cool finding stuff that really resonates with you, and crystals are cool. I've noticed I've become more sensitive to crystals to the point where it kind of makes me want to sell mine, but I don't think I will. I'm just gonna like hold on for now. Right now I have most of them in a box, but just having a body, and this is not going along with crystals, just a new thought. Having a body and one that functions and moves well, and having the awareness that we can choose to take care of it, through diet or exercise or just treating it well. And new ways of thinking, new ways of being. I'm really grateful for books and so if you're talking about fiction, being able to experience a story or new way of thinking by reading and being able to picture what's happening. I think it's one thing I like about books more. I don't want to say more than movies because they're different, so I'm not going to compare them really. But what's cool about books is that when you're watching a movie, everything's just being fed to you. You're like seeing all of what the person wanted you to see. They get to choose the characters and how they look and what have you, the settings. Whereas in a book, you can read what those things look like, but you actually get to picture it in your mind and how, like me and some other person can read the same book, but we're probably picturing the main character differently. And so I think that's really cool about books. And just communication, being able to communicate and talk and write and express ideas or feelings, and being able to communicate in person with people, or online or via text or phone call, Zoom. Like, how does that all work? It's insane. how does a phone call work? Obviously I could look it up, but I just mean like in general. And then I think the same thing about video games. How? It's so crazy. TV, but video games especially, just like how someone can create these worlds, and it's just so fascinating. I don't understand how it works, and it's so cool. Like, I don't mean just scientific, it's just, I'm not gonna go into it. And yeah, like, video games are basically an interactive version of books or movies, and food and taste, and getting to try so many different kinds of, like, there's so many different kinds of food. And that's one of my favorite things about traveling, which I haven't done in a long time, is like to another country, for instance, is trying the food there, or even just trying new restaurants. And it's just great. I love it. I love trying different foods. And one of my favorite classes in college was, I think it was called Food and Society, and it was so interesting just to learn about how integral food can be to a culture, and how, and even just building relationships. Like, so, I remember reading about how, even, so usually, you're eating with someone, but if you're eating alone, chances are you're usually doing something too. It's very rare that someone is just sitting eating and just like a fully engrossed in experience. Oftentimes someone's like, if they're eating by themselves, they're looking at their phone, or they're reading, or they're watching TV, they're just doing something interactively, even if it's by oneself. So I found that interesting. And yeah, I love that class so much. It was so fascinating to me. Just the different seasons, and I know not every place has different seasons, but getting to experience that cyclical nature. And yeah, I always feel grateful for awareness, even though it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It kind of goes along with the saying, ignorance is bliss. But it's good to be aware. So it's, yeah, I am thankful for that. And art in general, I think, is amazing. I guess I can kind of go along with communication, just the expression of oneself and one's ideas, and I find it so fascinating, especially people that can draw or paint really well what they're imagining, because I feel like I can picture things very well in my mind, but I find I don't translate it well to paper. And I know practice would help with that, but I do think some people are just naturally very gifted at being able to do that. So I really honor people that can do that, because I find it really interesting. I hope this angle isn't weird. I just realized I'm just staring down. Could be strange. I don't mean it to look down at people, by the way. Is that what it seems like? Oh no. One thing I think is really nice, I don't know if I ever learned this or I just did it innately. I don't remember. But say someone, especially like a kid, or someone's like in a wheelchair or sitting down or something, so if you're standing, not standing and looking down at someone, but getting down, if you can, to their level. So like kneeling down so you're at eye level with a child or someone who's sitting or what have you. Yeah. So yeah, those are things that I feel grateful for thus far. I still kind of have morning brain also. I'm really grateful for music and dance. lately I made this the other day I made this K-pop playlist on Spotify, and I've been playing it not every morning, but there's some mornings where I feel the urge to play one of the songs, and then it just gets, it'll autoplay the next song, and then it's just so fun starting the day off with music and dancing. It's great. It's a huge mood lifter for sure. And I'm also grateful for different types of exercise. Speaking of that, it's not just weightlifting, going to the gym, but there's so many different things you can do, like kayaking or hiking, dancing, and things like Pilates or yoga. There's so many different facets to moving your body. And I'm just grateful for language. It's been a goal of mine for quite a while now to learn how to read and speak Korean, but I think there's a part of me that doesn't want to, because I love being able to look at a language you don't know and it's just a bunch of symbols. And so your mind can't yet see it as words, can't yet read it. So it's just, I love the way it looks. And I'm wondering, like Korean and Hangul, I think it's a Korean word for the Korean language. Yeah, just like looking at, I love the way it looks when I'm looking at it on a page, written on a page. I know once I learn it, I probably won't see it as well. Like, I won't just see the symbols for what they are, but I'll be reading it. So I guess a part of me doesn't want to know, but I do. So the fact that we have animals on this planet, and like the unconditional love that animals have, like especially with a dog. But yeah, just that giving of love without expectation to receive. That people often have. Human touch is a big one too. And so just thinking about it, it's funny. So when I do Reiki, I feel my hands get activated, and even just thinking about Reiki, I can feel my hands doing it. What I was gonna say is I'm thankful for human touch and things like massage, and I was thinking about, okay, so when you learn Reiki, you're attuned. You receive an attunement for each level of Reiki, and basically how I understand it is it's like it's opening up the channels within you to be able to channel the Reiki energy. However, I feel like this is something that people have innately. Well, firstly, I think that human touch in general is very healing, and I don't think you have to be attuned in anything to be able to heal someone through touch. And how I feel too is, what's interesting is there is a time that I was in massage school, and I didn't finish it, but I won't go into why, but I just I couldn't. And I remember massaging the it was a test. Okay, there was a test where you had to massage the teacher, and I remember the feeling like when I massage people, it feels like this loving energy is coming out, and I remember how it felt. And after learning Reiki, I realized that is what was happening, is like that loving energy I felt like come out was basically Reiki energy. And whether or not you want to call it Reiki energy, I know where I was going with this, honestly, but I think I was just thinking about how I'm grateful for human touch and just things like massage and how it's so healing, and how it's something I think we can all do. And do I believe in attunements and everything? Yeah, I do think it makes a difference, but I don't think it's necessary. And I just think of like the first lady I learned Reiki from. So I learned all the stages from different people. And the first lady, I remember her saying the person she learned Reiki from, I don't know if she taught like yoga or something, but there was something where she put her hands on this person that taught Reiki, and the lady told her, like, you have Reiki energy, like you should get attuned to Reiki. So yeah, I think it's something that's just there, like normally, and then maybe the attunement helps it flow more. The attunements are very interesting, but yeah, just healing energy in general, the ability to heal. Intention is really cool. I think intention is huge. Thinking about, when you just do something, thinking about the intention of why. So for instance, if I'm like saging my room, my intention is to like clear the energy out, for instance, but if I don't think about why, I'm just like just saging away. So I think it's powerful to think like, oh, I'm going to sage my room because I want my room to feel clear of energy, what have you. So regarding intention, my intention was to make a journaling video, but now I think I would rather just journal on my own to lo-fi, perhaps. So I guess this became more of a gratitude video. So I'll probably name it as such, but I hope today you can find something to be grateful for in this life, because I think there always is something to be grateful for, a blessing to be found in everything. And even if in the moment there's nothing to be found, there's something that you can see, I do think that there's something there always. And yeah, there's a lot of good in the world. And I think it's a lot about focus too, and just like, I think it takes practice too. Like maybe for some people it might come naturally to see the good things, but I think it's all about, I think practice is huge with anything. Just practicing, trying to see a different perspective. And perspective is everything too, truly. Really dictates life experience. If you're seeing things from a more positive perspective, or just like maybe not attached to, or you're not really judging it as good or bad, but you're just experiencing it as it is. So yeah, I guess I challenge you to find something to be grateful for today. And if you don't, that's okay too. If you don't feel like there's anything to be grateful for, maybe you will soon. So I wish you a really good day. I hope it's awesome. I hope you have a really nice week and the rest of the month. And I'll chat with you soon.